departure relatives. So he's basically every month, like Damatok, he's coming far away, almost like 75 months age. He's on the way. He said he will be here around 11:30. So right now, the monks are going to do the offer the puja. So you all can participate, and so Venerable Chansare is going to take the puja. So you all can touch it and say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's when you all are participating. That's the one Theravada tradition, important tradition. It's wonderful tradition. So even Buddha is not going to eat this food. It is our duty to offer for the Buddha, we offering flowers, candles, incense, everything. Meanwhile, I want to say thank you so much for the listener now, all our monks here, and all the people who is providing the food to us. I really appreciate. So we have all kind of good food, Vietnamese, Thai, Sri Lankan, so we can now live chicken.
Okay, now we are going to offer the old items for the here. We recite the Gatha together with the Master. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namami Buddham Gunasagaram Satta Salam Suki Averam Ayuji Muttu Sakalo Dukkhato Gacchati Satte Maranam Namami Dhammam Sugatena Devita Satta Sadam Suki Ayuji Gunto Sakalo Dukkhato Gacchati Satte Maranam Namami Sangha Muniraja Sampekam Satta Sadam Suki Avera Ayuji Gunto Sakalo Dukkhato Gacchati Satte Maranam Dhanasarapaditena Ditena Tadam Pilokadipam Sambuddham Pujayami Tam Sugandham Sitalam Kapam Vasanna Maduram Subham Paniyatintam Bhagava Patiganmatu Adivase tunum bante Bhojanam parikapitam Anukampang upadaya Pundilanatotama Adivase tuno mante Sappang sattaya pujitang Anukampang upadaya Pundilanatotama Ayena vachana chittena pamatena mayam ajayam kamami bhakti uri panya tata sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Thank you, Venerable Suman and other monks. Right now, we're going to do the Ulumbana service. Before that, I just want to say another. I have a big list here. Our founder, Venerable Thich Thien Nam, is Vietnamese. He came to this country, I believe, 1967, around that time. So he started the center, and not in this place here. He started actually the Hollywood area, small house. He rent, and he started the International Buddhist Meditation Center, 1970. In that time, co-founder is Venerable Dr. Ulumbana Dana. She was studying in UCLA. That time, Venerable Thich Thien Nam is teaching UCLA. So Venerable Karuna and other students say to him, don't go back to Vietnam, stay here, start the temple. So I want to show my gratitude to Venerable Dr. Thich Thien Nam. He passed away when he was very young. He passed away in 1980. Actually, I've never seen him, but we have a lot of memories, a lot of pictures. Venerable Thich Thien Nam. Then Venerable Dr. Ratan Sara, which is my teacher, he was, I think he know the Dr. Thich Thien Nam. He was here since 1980, I believe, until 2000. He passed away in 2000. That's my teacher. Then Venerable Dr. Karuna Dana, she was the second abbot in this temple. She 1980 to 2011, she was here at abbot, and she's helping me so many ways to me and Venerable Sumana, and doing so many things. She's like my mother, so we are thinking about her also. Then we used to have another nuns here, American nuns, Sarika Dharma. She passed away in 1999. Then we do have another monks used to live here, Venerable Suhita Dhamma. They all are Dr. Thich Nam's students, actually. Suhita Dhamma, he passed away. Then there are another Venerable Karuna's students called Sri Ratnapri. I don't remember exactly what year. I think he passed away 2015, 16, around that. Then there are one of my students, Venerable Nepali Vinita, who passed away 2000, actually last year. Then one of my partner brother in Sri Lanka, Venerable Chandrabali, he passed away this year, April. So we are thinking about those great masters, and we are going to offer the merit for the good life for them, good rebirth, happy place. That's our wishing. So now I like to invite the one of our member, I think I forget. Yes, her name is Glory. You know, she used to come here, bring all the time. At least she will bring the 1 gallon milk or the 2 gallon water every time. Yes, and even she is 80 something, 85, I don't know, very old, and she come every Sunday. Sometimes even Saturday she's coming here. We want to thank all of the people. Not only that, you know, there are so many people. Everybody's families, passing, thinking about everybody, your father, your mother, grandma, friends, whatever people. And yes, one of our members, Russell's, his mother passed away. I think Russell's went to Canada. He sent message to me. He cannot come. So many people. Of course, recently my brother's wife Priyangani's father passed away, and think about that one. So we going to start the service right now.
Dharma King without higher honor, the three worlds without comparison, the guardian teacher of heaven and man, father of the four kinds of beings. I now in one thought take refuge, able to destroy 3 times karma, praise, and admiration. Even 100,000 kalpas cannot distinguish.
I respectfully bow to all directions of space, all realms, past, present, and future, the 10 directions, all Buddhas, the honored Dharma, the enlightened Sangha, the permanent 3 treasures. I respectfully bow to the Dharma master of the samsara world, Shakyamuni Buddha, the future-born Maitreya Buddha, great wisdom Manjushri Bodhisattva, great practice Amantabhadra Bodhisattva, Dharma protector Bodhisattvas, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas assembling into great holy mountain. I respectfully bow to the great love, great compassion of the Western paradise, Amitabha Buddha, great compassion Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, great power Mahasamprapta Bodhisattva, great vow Kushidigarbha Bodhisattva, and the Bodhisattvas in the pure ocean.
The incense burns in the holder. It spreads out into the Dharma realms. All Buddhas in the oceans assemble here from afar. Whatever the incense flows, blessing cloud appears. The sincere mind is accepted and blessed, and all Buddhas appear clearly, revealing themselves. I respectfully bow to the incense canopy Bodhisattva. I respectfully bow to the incense cloud canopy Bodhisattva. I respectfully bow to the incense cloud canopy Bodhisattva. I respectfully recite the compassion Dhyana Avalokiteshvara. Turn to page 8 for the Heart Sutra.
Avalokiteshvara
Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the prajna, Paramita clearly saw that all 5 sanghas are empty and pass beyond suffering. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form then is emptiness. Emptiness then is form. Sensation, resistance, volition, and consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness, not born and not dying, not stained and not pure, not named, not seen. Therefore, within consciousness, there is no sensation, perception, volition, conscious, with no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, no feel, sense, taste, touch, or dharma's no realm of sight to become to no realm of consciousness. No ignorance and no ending of ignorance. Extinction or path, no wisdom and no attainment, with nothing to attain, because the Bodhisattva follows Prajna Paramita. The mind has no hindrance, having no hindrance, there is no fear, and far from all fantasy, there is dwelling in alone. Because the Buddhas of the three types follow Prajna Paramita, the incomplete, perfect, enlightenment. Know that the Prajna Paramita is the great holy mantra, the great white mantra, the wisdom mantra, the unequal mantra, which can destroy all suffering, truly real and not false. So he gave the Prajna Paramita mantra, which goes Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasugate, Amitabha Buddha is of golden hue. The light of his fine marks is beyond compare. The tuft between his eyebrows spirals around the face like the 5 mountains. His eyes are clear as the 4 great seas. Countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are manifested within his light without end. His 48 vows save living beings, causing the sentient beings to attain the other shore. In the 9 ranks of the Pure Land, I pay homage to the greatly compassionate, greatly kind Amitabha Buddha of the Western Paradise.
I respect and bow to great compassion, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. I respectfully bow to great Mahasamprapta Bodhisattva, who personifies great spiritual power. I respectfully bow to great Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva, who personifies the great vow to save all beings in suffering. I respectfully bow to the great Bodhisattvas in the pure ocean of the Dharma.
On this day of September 10th, 2023, at the International Buddha Meditation Center of Los Angeles, we are gathered to perform the Ulumbana service for our departed relatives and friends and all the wandering spirits. This holy ceremony has been has been requested by our Reverend Shanti and the International Buddhist Meditation Center for all those who died from illness, violence, and starvation around the world, and for all the spirits that still wander. We pray to the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 3 times and the 10 directions, to the enlightened Sangha, the Devas, the guardians of the triple world, and the Dharma protectors.
We ask you to descend to this holy altar where we perform the Ulumbana service for all the departed ones and for the spirits that still wander. We pray to the Dhyana Buddhas, Vairocana, Akshobhya, Ratnasambhava, Amoghasiddhi, Amitabha, and to the Buddhas of our own time, Shakyamuni. We pray you to descend to this holy altar where we perform the Ulumbana service. We raise this banner to ask that all the assembled Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the enlightened Sangha, the Devas, the guardians of the triple world, and the Dharma protectors bless this offering. From love and respect, we call to you of you for whom we pray, and for all wandering spirits to come to this altar as we perform the Ulumbana ceremony. Your family and friends wait to receive you. We pray that you hear and obey. May your karma be purified. May your consciousness be purified. May you find rebirth in a place of peace and serenity where you may develop your compassion and wisdom and attain complete enlightenment. Now it is time for you to take the 3 refuse and to make your confessions.
The spirits take refuge in the Buddha. The spirits take refuge in the Dharma. The spirits take refuge in the Sangha. The spirits take refuge in the Buddha, who has complete compassion and wisdom. The spirits take refuge in the teachings that guide to detachment. The spirits take refuge in the Sangha that is harmonious and respected by all. The spirits take refuge in the Buddha so they will never fall into hell. The spirits take refuge in the Dharma so they will never fall into the realm of hungry spirits. The spirits take refuge in the Sangha so they never will be reborn into the animal realm. The spirits having finished taking refuge in the Buddha, the spirits have finished taking refuge in the Dharma. The spirits have finished taking refuge in the Sangha.
The spirits have engaged in negative actions in the past, all without beginning. Desire, anger, and illusion created from body, speech, and mind. All of these now the spirits confess. I respectfully bow to all directions of space, all realms, past, present, and future, the 10 directions, all Buddhas, the honored Dharmas, and the enlightened Sangha, the permanent 3 treasures. I respectfully bow to the Dharma master of the samsara world, Shakyamuni Buddha, the future-born Maitreya Buddha, great wisdom Manjushri Bodhisattva, great practice Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Dharma protector Bodhisattvas, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas assembling at the great holy mountain. I respectfully bow to the great love, great compassion of the Western paradise, Amitabha Buddha, great compassion, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, great power, Mahasamprapta Bodhisattva, great vow, Kashidigarbha Bodhisattva, and the Bodhisattvas in the pure ocean. Suffering arises from mind. Use the mind to confess. When the mind ceases engaging in negative actions, suffering is destroyed. With suffering destroyed, the mind pure, both empty. That is the great true confession. We respectfully bow to the desire for confession, Bodhisattva. We pray the spirit's negative karma from beginningless time will now be destroyed.
We pray the spirits will be born in the pure land of the West. The 9-staged lotus flower will be the parents. When the flower opens, the spirits will see the Buddha and attain non-birth. Non-returning bodhisattvas will be the spirit's friends. We pray to all the Buddhas and bodhisattvas of the 3 times and 10 directions. We pray that they will guide all the spirits that wander to a new birth. We pray all those that have died by violence and by war will find peace. We pray that all those who have died from starvation and disease will find peace. We pray that our ancestors, relatives, and friends who have died will have peace. We pray that all those who wander will have peace in a new birth. We ask the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas to guide all these to a new birth.
Thank you, Prashanti and Shraddha. Right now, I see the Sai Mahajan is here. Please come forward, Sai. And he's coming all the way. He called and he said he cannot come today. I said, no, you have to come. At least you have to do it. No, you can sit here in the chair. This chair. Yeah. So you can start your Dhamma talk. If you want, you can turn to the camera area. And you can start your Dhamma talk. I think you can focus a little bit how to offer the merit for the departure relatives. So he's our good friend. He's a Vinita's good friend. He's originally from Nepal. He's a professor right now in University of Southern California somewhere. So thanks for coming and giving the Dhamma talk here. Please, you can start your Dhamma talk right now.
Good morning, friends. Well, you didn't tell me, Bante, there will be a big crowd of Bantes here. Well, I had a different plan, but I will try to speak for a few minutes on this important event. Bante Santi, so I was listening to the chanting and the prayers, and I don't want to contradict anybody. In Buddha's teaching, we have some core values we try to follow. And I was reflecting for today's talk. I've been talking about Abhidhamma, and my plan was to talk about Shraddha, confidence. No, that's fine, Bante. I'm good at adapting, so that's fine. I was planning to talk about Shraddha. It's a very important concept in Buddhism. We gathered here because we have that confidence, that conviction to the teachings of the Buddha. However, my understanding and the teachings of the Buddha is that we have to have some, not faith, but trust in somebody before we start any kind of activity. So think of everyday life. You wouldn't buy a product until you have some kind of trust about the product, right? You wouldn't buy a car unless you know that the particular car is reliable, it's not going to die on you, middle of the freeway. So you would do some homework before you purchase that car. And same thing with relationship, right? I mean, those days it was different. Arranged marriage time was different, but nowadays people study about other individuals. They get to know other individuals, and after you know them to some extent, then you commit for hopefully lifetime. So that is the plan. So those examples to tell you that, before you place your trust on somebody, you have to examine what kind of person that is. And think of that idea in a very elaborate way when you place your confidence in a teaching. And Buddhism is not so much religion, it is a teaching for life. It is a teaching for life lessons. So if you place your trust in the Buddha and his teaching and his followers, that means you have done some homework, right? And I lived in Sri Lanka. I see some Sri Lankan faces, even I don't know you're not, whether you're Sri Lankan or not, I can tell your facial feature. And there I know, if you look at your birth certificate in Sri Lanka, you have the religion Buddhagama, right? So we didn't get a chance to examine where to put your trust. But I'm sure after you're grown up, when you grow older, you realize that this is not a good fit for me. You might change your religion and you might not follow the teachings of the Buddha, because that's how trust should work, right? You cannot just trust somebody on face value. And Buddhism definitely should not be trusted on face value. You have to know. That's why when you read the Dhamma chanting, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehi Pasiko. So it invites you to come and examine, and then open eye, try to practice it, see if it applies to you. So when you place your confidence, it should be done with a lot of homework. And that homework comes from sometime it could be, we can call many lives of practices, right? And you might ask yourself, why I'm in a Buddhist temple instead of some other places? Well, you might have some samsaric habit. So that's a one type of karma. It's a habitual karma. We have done this many times, and that's why it brings us back to the same practice. And at the same time, you want to place your confidence, your trust in the Buddha, knowing that what you're getting into, just like you buy a car, knowing that what you're getting into. And once you get in, you have the teacher to look up to, right? Now, the difference between other teachings and the Buddhism is that just having faith, having trust in Buddha is not going to take you anywhere. Sorry to break that news. It is not going to take you from point A to point B. That is not what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is about that you place your trust and you also take some responsibilities. And that responsibility can be simply divided into, you can say Dana Sila Bhavana, and you can also say that Sila Sati Samadhi in many ways. So you have to take some responsibilities. Otherwise, it would be, you're expecting someone to tell you the direction from here. The first thing comes to my mind is Las Vegas. I don't know why. So from here to Vegas, somebody gives you the direction. Oh, you have to take the 15 freeway, start driving north. You're going to get to the Barstow, you pass that, and you keep driving all the way to Nevada. Now, that direction will not take you from Los Angeles to Las Vegas unless you take a car, fill the gas, and start driving to the north on 15. In the same way, Buddha gives you the direction. So that's where in Pali saying, Tumhi kichang atapang akataro tathagata. The Buddha's job is to give you the direction. He gives you the path and you take that journey. It's up to you. And sometimes some people who are very mindful, who has, in Pali there is a term called Thirasanyam, who has very firm perception of the objects, your goal. They tend to arrive Las Vegas faster than some other people. Why? They did not get distracted. And some people might take longer because of the other distractions on the way. So in the same way, when we are in this journey, we have to stay focused. We have to take some of those responsibilities. And the other part is that sometime, and in the same trend, people tend to believe that the teachings of the Buddha itself will emancipate you. That is also another misunderstanding about Buddhism. And that's where I like to use the analogy in one of the suttas, kullu pamango bhikkhave dhammang desisami nittaranatthaya no kahanatthaya. So the teaching is meant to take you across the river. And in metaphor, it's a raft. Think of a boat, right? You come to a river, you want to cross the boat. And in order to cross the boat, you need a raft, a boat. And when you have that boat, you get on it, you use your arms and legs or and you can get across the river. Now, once you get across the river, the job that the raft or the boat has to do is already done. You cross the river. The best thing to do is leave the boat on the bank so someone else can use it. It's not that you carry that on your head, walking around showing respect. Now that's where we see that, and Buddhism asks us to take a lot of responsibilities as humans, because unfortunately, not even Buddha can protect us from our evil deed. And the other side also true, Buddha cannot take away our good deeds. So it is our own deeds that takes us to a higher level or to the lower level. And today, just to end with a reflection on people, those who have lived with us. I heard Bante Santi mentioned a long list. I lost a dear friend, Bante Vinita. We grew up together for more than a decade in Sri Lanka, and his death was completely unexpected. And that's the nature of life. That's where we have to have Dhamma reflection. We all have to die. I don't know if I surprised you by that news. It's coming. Slow or fast, it's coming to us. The best thing to do is, are we ready? Right? One of the best things Buddhists can do is be prepared to die mindfully. When you die, you don't want to have fear about your life. You don't want to have regret about the life that you have lived, or worry about what's going to happen next, because the definition of your next life is based on what you do in this life. So when you think of that, it's a beautiful life that we have, and we live that meaningfully. And the other last responsibility we have as humans, which is very unique to humans, I have never seen any other living beings, animals, would do the same ritual or tradition for their beloved ones. We do that because we have this higher thinking power. And one way to do is share merit. And I heard Bante's mention about a lot of bodhisattvas. All the bodhisattvas that you mentioned, we have huge statues in Nepal. So Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, a lot of chantings about all those bodhisattva. When I hear those names, I hear less of the people, more of the quality. And Bante's mentioned the great bodhisattva of compassion, the great bodhisattva of wisdom. So I've studied Buddhism, and I studied Mahayana in detail. And when I studied, what I saw was sometimes human needs embodiment, right? The concepts are too complex. And that's what even the Sakyamuni Buddha did. He told a lot of stories. He told his own stories. That's what we call Jataka stories. And sometimes people ask, I don't know how much that is true. Well, that's less of a concern to us. What should be concerned is the message that carries, right? So all the bodhisattvas that you heard, they have a quality that they try to portray. And I think Avalokiteshvara, Amitabha, all the names, I hear the paramitas. That's what I hear in all those names. And that is perfection. So that's the perfect translation in English, actually. It's hard to find a good translation from Pali or Sanskrit to English. Perfection is the best translation. And perfection, you start with in Theravada, we have 10, right? So among them, the first one is, I'll stop with that. So I have tendency to talk a lot, but the first one is like a Dana Paramita. It comes in many forms. And one of the topic I was planning to talk today was Aloba. Aloba has to do with, it's one of the mental factors in Abhidhamma, and that indicates that your mind is free from attachment. You practice generosity, you practice renunciation. And if one thing we should reflect every time we come to temple or listen Dhamma is, am I any closer to those perfection? Right? There is one rule for Bhantes, and it applies to all of us, is Katam Buddha Samerating Diva Viti Patantiti. That means, how am I spending my day and night? I must reflect every day. That's the best reflection I've ever heard. Katam Buddha Samerating Diva Viti Patantiti. How am I spending day and night? If we can just take one of those teachings, doesn't matter which one, whether it is Abhidhamma or Dhammapada or Mahayana, Bodhisattva qualities, you take one and you see how you are practicing. Am I getting even an inch closer to that perfection? That would be the best Buddhist. That would make us Bodhisattvas, actually. You will become Bodhisattva yourself. And when you have that power, we call that is one way. It could be punya, that is the merit. That rejoice you, that gives you that sense of joy. And the other way is kusala, that's a wholesome, which means you did those activities with detachment, with understanding, with free from hatred. And that can be shared with the departed ones, the people who has passed away, because we all need karma to continue to enjoy good life, good journey. And our belief is that in Buddhism, we share merit, and the Pali word is anumodana. Now, if you divide the word and you break the word, anu means according to or following somebody. Modati means to be happy. So we are inviting people, those who have passed away, to be happy with us. How do we do that? We can't throw a party here and ask them to come and enjoy. Unfortunately, they cannot, right? They cannot eat your food. They cannot have your drink. The best way to do them is look what we are doing. We are practicing generosity. We are practicing learning how to let go. We are practicing loving kindness. We're showing that care and love to others. And that one term, that's the best term I've seen in Jetasika is Tatra Majjatata. I'm showing that impartiality. Because we are too divided by skin color, by height, by wealth, by power. Many things are dividing us. And we try to show we are not divided. We are in this equipoise. That's another way to show that, you can rejoice with us. The last one is amoha. We are showing them that we understand the teachings of the Buddha. We did our research to invest our trust in this person, the Buddha, in his teaching and his followers. So you try to show that we are following these three, Aloba, Dosa, Amoha. Please join us and rejoice with us. Please be happy with us. That is the best way to show our respect and show our love to our departed ones. And I'm very happy to join today. And thank you so much, Bhante, for having me.
Thank you, Sai. Actually, I'd like to listen more, but we don't have time, so we can continue the next month when you come here. So he's giving every month, second Sunday, Dhamma talk. He promised me he's going to continue end of this year. So I like to invite next year also. So. Because he's very famous, and I believe that everybody like him. His knowledge is very huge. So thanks again. Coming all the way, how many miles? 70, 80 miles, up and down 150 maybe. So right now, almost 12 o'clock. I think that we have to do another 5 minutes chanting near the that side. Mr. Nam, you want to do it? Yes. So you all can sit here, but monks, we will go to the memorial altar and we will chant there 2 minutes. After that, we all can go to the Anand Hall and you can offer the food for the monks for the Dana. So after monks eat, you all can eat the food. There are a lot of food you can eat. You can take back home, whatever you can do. Okay, so we go to the memorial altar and we're going to chant a little bit, and after that we can go to the Anand Hall. Thank you again for the bringing the food, and thank you again for everybody because this time is almost 12 past the 12. So basically monks have to eat a little bit earlier, not like that, So we're going to chant there. That is the one of the part. I believe some kind of offering for the departure relatives, food or whatever things. If they can come and eat. If not, we don't know. But they will be happy. Yes, they will be happy to see those kind of things. All right, so yeah. So you all can sit there. By the way, I believe anybody have any question over there? No, okay. So only monks going there, others you can sit.